Guys, you're here for another episode with me, Jen the Taxidermy Witch, and we are talking about Bay Laurel today. And at the end of the video, we pull you up to the tree and show it to you very closely. But at first, I'm just going to ask some from the bush. Where can I choose from? Thank you. And then I will give it an offering of some little flower petals. So here's some of the bay laurel that we grow here in our house. And we keep it in a bucket because we are renting and we want to take this with us when we go. So just make sure you have a large enough bucket that no matter where you go, you can kind of take it with you. And when you see our garden, a lot of the bigger things are in buckets because if they get roots into the ground, it's really difficult on the plants when you try to move them. And yeah, so then it's something that you probably also have in your kitchen if you're not just growing it like we have it. And when you find it in your kitchen, it's going to be dried with your spices. And this is what it looks like from the store dried. Some of the pieces even look like this, so I mean, it's just depending on where it's coming from in the world probably, but mine that we grow here is a lot skinnier, and even when I dry it, it stays a really bright green. But if you dry your own herbs, dry them below 100 degrees and you'll keep them technically raw, and maybe that's why mine stay more green. However, I do know the greener it is, the more medicinal qualities there are. So medicinal, and then I would assume magical on that same note. So first, we're going to read from my new book that came in the mail yesterday, Magical Herbalism by Scott Cunningham, and we're going to talk about bay laurel. So folk names: bay, bay tree, Grecian laurel, Indian bay, Roman laurel, sweet bay, or B-A-I-E, bi? I don't know how that'd be pronounced. Gender, it says hot. Okay, interesting. So this book has got some different variations, and I'll have to understand why the gender says a temperature. If you guys know and you have this book, please let me know. Planet is the sun, element fire. Associated deities are Aciphyllus, I don't know, please tell me how to say that right. Apollo, Ceres, and Caradwen. Part used, the leaves. However, I think in magics, if the tree was done, you could certainly use the branches and the bark to make magical tools or wands if you were really, connected to the plant, I would assume. Basic powers: protection, clairvoyance. I've been working on that, and I just got my new doll Claire. I'll bring her out for the next video. Exorcism, purification, and healing. So basic powers: protection, clairvoyance, exorcism, purification, and healing. Specific uses: burn the leaves to induce visions. Wear as an amulet to ward off negativity and evil. Burn and scatter on the floor in exorcism and purification rituals. Put leaves under a pillow to induce inspiration and prophetic dreams. Holly, weren't you just telling me you're sewing up a pillow for your niece? If it's not sewn all the way shut, throw some bay laurel in there. And Holly, I'll send you some bay laurel from this tree. Okay, that'll be really fun. Add to purification incenses and baths. Use in healing incenses and sachets. Pick while facing east just at sunrise. Okay, so now when I pick it, I will know when and which direction to face. These things to add just really amp up the power of this herb and all of the qualities it will carry. I feel like that will just be heightened if you do it in the same way it's been done traditionally for the craft, right? Where did we leave? Pick while facing east just at sunrise. Protection against lightning. So if you were in an area where there was a lot of lightning, you could have some bay laurel around to protect you from that. Excellent information there. So All three of the books I'm reading from are from Scott Cunningham today, you guys. Also, I want to say that when you pick your bay leaves, okay, and then you let them dry out either in the air or at the dehydrator under 100 degrees, so like 95 to 100 is a great temperature. One of the things that me and Irene do when we get together on full moons is we write one word on the leaf in a Sharpie, and then we together, but privately because we're solitary, we sit and we go one at a time and we burn them. So maybe one word might be, I was trying to let go of grudges, so I wrote grudges on one and then I burned it. I wanted to let go of some issues with my diet and being so faceted to ice cream, so I wrote, addiction on one to burn that food addiction away. And what Irene wrote on hers are private. So, a really good safe way to do that is write on your cauldron over concrete, and if you're not over concrete, if you're out in nature, just have water around you. So write your intention on the leaf and burn it in a really special time, such as the full moon, or a new moon would be appropriate. There's an eagle over there. Alex, look at the eagle. There's an eagle flying over the lake right now. If I thought that I could catch it on camera, I would move you, but I just can't. I thought he was out here. Okay, so Sharpie, dry bay, full moon or new moon, burn it in your cauldron. This is a big one I got. I paid $100 for it, but it's cast iron, and you can just, man, I'm building up my muscles day by day with that cauldron. Working by working. Okay, let's just jot on to the next book. I have a candle going, it just keeps going out. Try again. I love the wind though, it just makes everything feel so beautiful. Okay, we're not doing bad for time. Bay. This is from Wicca in the Kitchen by Scott Cunningham. Planet the sun, element fire. Again, this is when we eat it, when we ingest it, the magics that happen there. Energies, protection, psychic awareness, healing, and purification. Lore. You know I love lore. Long associated with Greek and Roman deities, bay laurel leaves were used to crown Olympic victors. Bay was dedicated to many deities in the classical world. In the United States, any diner who received a bay leaf in his or her bowl of food made a wish. The bay leaf made the wish come true. I know that most American people have heard this, and I'm guessing people from around the world. That's what I mean when witchcraft is in normal things in every day-to-day life. It's so cool. Alex, I tried to tell you in the video, there was a giant eagle over the lake just now. Okay, so on to bay. The magical uses. Bay leaves are just as powerful today as they were in the past. Sparingly add the dried leaves to protection, psychic awareness, healing, and purification foods. Well, I think that that's cool that I was able to find something right there in the book that I'm always talking about, how it is in day-to-day life, in day-to-day kitchen magic, and we might just not know that it is, in fact, the craft. Okay, now on to Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs by Scott Cunningham. What, can you make that stop? Bay. I lost my spot, just a moment. Bay. Okay, there's quite a bit in here on bay. So let's get into it. Folk names are the same as the other book because it's the same author. Okay. Gender, masculine. Planet, the sun. Element, fire. Deities, Alcephalus, Apollo, Ceres, Faunus, and Eros. So there's some different deities named in here, and I apologize if I pronounced any of those wrong. Powers, protection, psychic powers, healing, purification, and strength. So because the other one was on ingesting the food, when we use it for magical uses, the powers can be different. And in this one, we're adding strength. Ritual uses. The ancient priestesses of Apollo chewed bay leaves to induce a prophetic state, and also inhaled their fumes. I'm assuming for when it was burning in the fire. Bay leaves are used as decorations at Yule. That's great to know. I'm going to save some for my Yule decorations, which, to think about it, is right around the corner. We have Samhain and then Yule. And we already need to start preparing for Samhain, and I'm doing videos on that very soon. Alright. Magical uses. Bay is used in clairvoyance and wisdom brews. Yes! Although its taste is strong, bay leaves are placed beneath the pillow to induce prophetic dreams, and are also burned to cause visions. I'm on a road, it's really getting loud, sorry. So, it says that they're burned to cause visions. Well, maybe when Irene and I are doing our full moon bay leaf spell, maybe intuitively we're doing that so that we can have visions on how to see the change we need to have happen, you know, have our guides show us what do we need to do to make this change. And I'll tell you, it wasn't just this last full moon that happened, but now it's been about 6 weeks since we burned those bay leaves together, and every single one I burned except for one, and I think I burned 9, have already taken care of themselves 90% of the way, and most of them fully. So maybe it doesn't take a day or an hour or overnight, but slowly these things are happening, and sometimes my spells happen and there's a change overnight. So I'm just saying, within 6 weeks to have 90% of my issues taken care of, that's really great, and the bay laurel helped me with that. Okay, cause visions. It is a protection and purification herb par excellence, and is worn as an amulet to ward off negativity and evil, burned or scattered during exorcism rituals, placed in the pillows to protect against, placed in the windows to protect against lightning, and hung up to prevent poltergeists from working any mischief in the home. A sprig of bay is used to sprinkle water during purification ceremonies, and the tree planted near the home protects its inhabitants against sickness. Great. If we're going to be here for a while, maybe I will actually plant it and root it in the home. You know, think about that too. Do you know how much the bay was? I don't know how much the plant... It was $40, and it came almost this big. It probably was 6 inches shorter. So for $40, I think we might bury it and just have it rooted in the home so that it will in fact protect all the inhabitants against sickness. Winter's coming. There's a lot of stuff that we need to keep ourselves safe from sicknesses, so it's something to think about. Bay leaves mixed with sandalwood can be burned to remove curses and evil spells. I need sandalwood. I'm out of even the incense, and I've never ever had it in resin form. I definitely want to be getting that. Or in the whole form. I don't know if it's a resin. To ensure that love will stay, the couple should break off a twig from the tree, then break this in 2, each keeping half. That is so cool. So you and your partner or someone you love, even if it was your child, you break off, you know, a nice sized branch that would at least have like 6 leaves or more, okay? And then you take that and together pull that in half and each keep that half. Wow, that is such a really, really cool spell. So to ensure that love will stay, the couple should break a twig from the tree, then break this in 2, each keeping half. Bay leaves give strength to those engaged in wrestling and athletic sports, if worn at the time of competition. If you guys have kids, or if you are a kid getting back into school and the sport is your thing, sounds like bay leaves. Wishes are written on bay leaves, which are then burned to make them come true. A bay leaf held in the mouth wards off bad luck. So the bay leaf burning, that was what I was talking about with my rituals. So yes, there's a lot of stuff in there on bay, and it's not a terribly long video. So we got to everything, and now I'll show you a close-up of my my bay laurel. Isn't it beautiful? Kiss your things. Love your things and touch your things. They'll love you back. You guys, I had such a fun time making this video. Come back and see me, Jen the Taxidermy Witch.